Erik Horne here with Martenzie Johnson and David Dennis, and we are discussing Reggie Bush. Reggie Bush, by the Heisman Trust on Wednesday, made an announcement that Reggie Bush is getting his Heisman Trophy from 2005 reinstated. Seems like this is long overdue. Want to get you guys' thoughts on it. Reggie Bush is obviously somebody who, was a superstar. When I was growing up, we're around the same age. And I wanted to kind of see how y'all felt about the decision by the Heisman Trust today. Martenzie and David, take it away.
Let's just start here. Had it been me, there would be no Heisman Trophy to return because I would have never gave it to him in the first place. What armies were they going to bring in to take that from me? Were they going to call the police on me for theft? So I've been knocking Reggie for the longest for that because he should have never gave it up. You earned that, you won it, and who cares if you got improper benefits at a time? You were the best running back in the country. You deserve that Heisman, and forget them then and forget the Heisman Trust now, whereas now they're trying to say, oh, because the NCAA allows players to be compensated outside of the schools, that now it's okay and we're taking this back. Nah, forget them.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a good sign when About Damn Time is trending on Twitter because of this. Like, this is something that was long overdue. They never should have taken it. These are all rules that the reason that there is a ruling that keeps these rules from having been, that's reversing these rules, that the rules were unfair in the first place. So they should never have taken this from him. And, really, this does nothing for Reggie Bush. This only does something for the NCAA. Reggie Bush gets his trophy and all that, but the NCAA gets to not have this blemish on their record by having somebody who was taken out of, their history books, who should have never been taken out of the history books. Now they can invite him to all the Heisman Trophy events. They can flash his face all over the place. This is for them. This does nothing for Reggie Bush. He's already recognized by me and a lot of people of our generation as the greatest college football player we've ever seen. Also helped bring a championship to the New York Saints, but the New Orleans Saints, but that's neither here nor there. But also, these are things that are already on his resume, unimpeachable. He's already doing Wendy's commercials. Like, what more does this guy need from anybody?
That Wendy's commercial is fire too. It is fantastic. The one where he's kind of taking a shot at the whole Heisman thing.
Yeah.
I think it's important to keep in mind too that this is the Heisman Trust saying this. This isn't the NCAA saying that Reggie Bush and USC is absolved of all the things that happened. But to me, it's like it doesn't really make sense, like you guys are saying, for them to just give him back this trophy that we all knew he won anyway. It's kind of the same scenario as the Michigan Fab Five. It's like we all were there, we all saw it. It still remains in our hearts and in our minds what these guys accomplished. So for you to just say that it doesn't exist is just kind of nonsensical.
Yeah, it's a fruitless gesture to take it away, and it's a fruitless gesture to return it. This is all symbolic of things that are just making people feel good without any sort of concrete change.
Yeah, I just learned today that Reggie was the first Heisman winner to get it taken away. O.J. Simpson won a Heisman Trophy, and they just actually sent out a solemn post when he died. And you mean to tell me Reggie's the only Heisman Trophy winner to have done something wrong in their case? That's why, like you said, it's all symbolic. It means absolutely nothing. Reggie Bush has been a Heisman winner this entire time to me, whether he had that trophy in his possession or not. USC won that championship in 2004, whether the Heisman or NCAA says they did or did not. I don't really care what the opinions of these people are. And we honestly going forward shouldn't care what they say. And this brings me to another point about the Heisman anyway. No disrespect to him, but the father of Dan Le Batard had a vote for Heisman. So giving all these platitudes to this trophy, they don't even take it seriously themselves. But in the case that they do, Reggie earned this 20 years ago, and them returning it now does not make me feel any better for them. It's just, like you said, David, at the top of this, it's about damn time.
Shout out Poppy. Hey, one more thing. How does this change for people who have been penalized in the past by the NCAA or have had things stripped away like the Fab Five? Does it change anything? Because, again, this isn't really the NCAA saying Reggie Bush is cleared and USC is cleared. This was the Heisman Trust taking agency over this and saying, okay, we're going to give him back the trophy. So does this change anything in the future for how, maybe we go back and kind of relitigate some of the things that happened pre-NIL.
Erik, are you asking, will the NCAA do the right thing?
Might be a rhetorical question, but yes, I am.
Okay. Yeah. No, they're absolutely not going to do that. Is it Michigan going through something right now where they're trying to dock them for burgers? It's NCAA is ridiculous. And no, they're not going to do the right thing. Because again, like you said, this is the Heisman Trust making this decision, not the NCAA, who I would assume will follow suit, because why do you want to be the only person still penalizing Reggie for this? But no, Fab Five's not going to get their stuff back. Any of these small minor infractions, which now in the grand scheme of things, where NIL deals are worth the millions, like Reggie Bush getting a couple $100,000 for his family, or getting some first class tickets so his family could come watch him play at USC, that's pales in comparison to what's going on now. So honestly, all this stuff should be washed away. But to go back to the original point, this is the NCAA we're talking about. They don't want to give 5th year waivers for people who are going through mental health crises. So, I don't expect them to do the right thing at all.
I mean, let's not forget, they did not do the right thing. They were dragged kicking and screaming into into all of this in the first place. Like, these changes have not come just out of the kindness of the NCAA's heart. Like, there's courts and rulings and millions of dollars that could have been going to the students in the first place that they used to not give money to students. So there's nothing that indicates that there's going to be any kindness from the NCAA at any point.
Look, the biggest thing to me out of all this is, who knew all it took was Johnny Manziel just putting his foot down and saying, look, I'm not going to this stuff anymore. Johnny Manziel is the modern day Jesse Jackson, man. Johnny Manziel just inserts himself into something and stuff gets done. All right. Reggie Bush got his Heisman back because of Johnny Manziel putting his foot down on social media. Am I wrong?
Well, I mean, are you inviting Johnny Manziel to the cookout, the proverbial cookout? Is that what you're doing? Is that we're doing in 2024?
Is Johnny Manziel inviting us to the cookout? He's the one with the money phone, like, it's like, what's up?
What's crazy is, like, Johnny saying he won't show up. I'm like, is that a threat? Like, I imagine the Heisman Trust don't want him there anyway. So I don't even know why it took Johnny Manziel to say something for you to actually act right. Because again, I don't want him at that ceremony either, no matter how much Johnny has changed over the last decade.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. Make sure to tune in on Andscape.com for more reaction to everything and anything going on, whether it's the NFL draft, Reggie Bush, NCAA tournament, WNBA season coming up, and stay tuned.